Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I had a great question in the comments asking, do you think mortgage rates will ever drop to 5% again in the next 3 to 4 years? Thank you. So, obviously I bought a lot of my real estate from 2017 all the way up to 2023. And for most of my investing career, interest rates were about 4% or less. So just as a timeline of all my mortgage interest rates, in 2017, I had a 4% interest rate on my primary residence that I house hacked. In 2019, I had a 3.75% interest rate on a house that I house hacked. In 2020, I had in 2020, I didn't buy real estate. So it was 2021, I bought another primary residence, and this was during the heart of COVID. Primary residence that house hacked was 2.75% interest rate. I refinanced my first property from 4% down to 3.1, and my 3.75 I kept, and I did another refinance, another property at 3.75 as well. So I bought a new build construction in Huntsville, Alabama. My interest rate was 3.5%. My 26 unit is at a 4.25%, but it's only a 10-year term, so I'm on year 3 of 10 right now. My 20 unit, I did a hard money loan at 9%, and when I refinanced it during 2023, so I bought that in 2022 when interest rates went up a little bit higher and I was doing a hard money loan, but when I got it in 2023 and refinanced it, my interest rate is 6.5, and my primary residence, which I bought this year, was 6.5 as well. So, most of my interest rates have been great. I've been spoiled with, sub 4% interest rates most of my investing career. And the question is, do I think interest rates will be 5% in the next 3 to 4 years? And I think 5% is actually very reasonable in the next 3 to 4 years. I think actually about 4 to 5% is probably a healthy interest rate where, when the interest rates were really low, that's when people are overbidding for properties, and when you overbid for properties, it drives up the value of all the other real estate because you can afford more house, because you can afford more loan, because interest rates lower. And that's what happened during COVID when interest rates were 2.75%. People were overbidding, and because they can afford to, right? And then it caused a bunch of appreciation to skyrocket, and people can make more aggressive offers on multifamily because of a lower interest rate. The cap rates will lower. As a result, the values go up. You can make more aggressive offers. Right? So it's kind of all connected in that way. But in my opinion, I think about a 4 to 5%, probably maybe 4.5%, it's probably a healthy interest rate where, real estate won't skyrocket like crazy. But at the same time, it'll go up slow and steady. And at 4% or 4 to 5%, it's, I think, still reasonable to buy some real estate that you can kind of cash flow, right? Whether you're house hacking or whether you're buying investment properties out of state. So, that's kind of my stance on interest rates. And I think it will kind of migrate closer to that 4 to 5% in the next 3 to 4 years. And believe it or not, a person put in a comment saying, he got a 5% rate on a new build. He's actually looking at rental properties in Lennar, and they offered a 5.5% interest rate, no points, and if it's owner occupied, it's 4%. If you finance FHA. So I actually bought my primary residence here as a Lennar home, and my property manager in Huntsville, Alabama brought me a bunch of deals from Lennar, basically new builds as well. And in Huntsville, Alabama, they cash for more. So you could typically buy something for about maybe a little bit under $300,000, and they can rent out for maybe about, maybe $1,900 to $2,000 a month, right? And what's nice about Lennar or builders in general is at the end of the year, so this is heading towards the end of Q4 of 2024, builders want to offload the inventory so that they can show more positive results to their shareholders. So a lot of new builds, they like to give incentives in order for you to buy, right? So when I got this property for Lennar, the incentive was $40,000 in closing or in credit, which I could use to cover my closing costs, to buy down my loan if I wanted to pay off my solar panels, to prepay HOA for a year, to basically. You can allocate it to however you want, and I did all the above, right? I used it to cover my $9,000 closing costs. I used it to pay off my 11,000 solar panels. I prepaid HOA for 6 months. I got some upgraded flooring, which you can't see, but I got upgraded flooring, LVP flooring. I got some upgraded carpet, right? And then a lot of Lennar that they offer to investors is, they may offer like a lower rate, because they work with private money lenders, or they themselves might lend on the property to offload it, right? So they can offer, like I've seen it, where they'll give you 5% rate for the first year, but it might scale up, right? Maybe it's 5% this year, 5.5 the next year, and 6% that year, and hopefully it buys you time. So when the rates drop, you can refinance and get out of it, right? Or they just give you the $40,000 to pay down the interest rate, to get down to 5% to make it reasonable. So it is doable, but you just have to get creative to go with new builds. So that's what I love about buying new builds, is because the lenders, there's a lot of supply, there's a lot of lenders or builders, and they can give you incentives, whether it's closing credit, whether they can buy down your interest rate, whether it's a cheaper price. So like this time of year, it's the best time to buy, because not many people want to buy real estate during the holidays. No one wants to buy real estate during Thanksgiving, during Christmas. And well, to be honest, even if you bought it, it'll be hard to kind of rent it out at that time, because people don't want to move during the holidays. But let's say if you strategically got a deal under contract now, it takes you 3 months to close. Maybe it's like February by the time it closes, and maybe you can get renters at that point after the holidays. So, but that's when you can get good deals, right? That's when you can get really good deals, and sellers or builders are motivated to sell. So Lennar new builds, you get a lot of a 1-year warranty. On the inside, you get a 10-year warranty on the outside. So anything breaks, you can put in warranty requests and see what they cover. New builds are nice. They get top of the market rents, and should be very minimal maintenance. No major plumbing issues, roofing issues, and all that. So I'm a huge fan of new construction, and hopefully when interest rates drop in this following year, and my cash reserve builds up, and if Lennar is still offering, or any builders offering a 5% interest rate, and it makes sense, I may look at picking up a few more of these new build constructions, or I might just buy some more multifamily if I want to save up a little more. So I definitely I think interest rates will drop in the next 3 to 5 years, but if you work with new builders today, you can probably lock in some better interest rates today. Like I locked in 6.5% interest rate on this property. I closed on it in May of 2024, and interest rates were like at 8%. But maybe the interest is more, because let's say you pay $5,000 a month, it's part principal, part interest. Maybe the interest is higher, the principal is less, so they get the lender always makes their money, regardless, right? So, but at least if you can kind of ride out that interest rate until interest rates drop naturally, then you can refinance that out and lower your rate in your term. So, for multifamily, I was quoted around 8 to 8.5% right now. I'm looking at a few deals, and for, like you said, for single family, I got this for 6.5%. But like you said, you have to go for the new build with that. So in any case, hopefully this answers your question about what my thoughts are on the interest rates and where they're heading in the next 3 to 4 years. Please let me know what questions or comments you have. If you're looking to buy some multifamily real estate with some guidance, check out the mentorship program. I also have a school community, both links down below. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.